and welcome to Dadcast
with the man then.
With me, Joe, father of four.
Father of two, Kinny.
And me, Jace, father of two.
Alright, so welcome to the show. Apologies to all of our listeners and watchers. We should have got this show out ages ago, but we've been a bit tardy, so it is what it is, isn't it? But alas, we are here, the three boys back again. And we're going to bring to you today the topic of our personal goals. So that's personal goals for ourselves, personal goals for Dadcast with the man, then personal goals for our children. Is that right, Jace?
Yes, it's all about aspirations. It's always that new year, new me. It's not about necessarily new me, but
I was waiting for someone to say that.
We're going to keep progressing with it. You know, we've been doing this is us. I've lost track of time now. This is our second. Like, we've done a full year. Yeah. So we're into our first. We've done, So we're just we've done our second year. We're sort of growing. Obviously, started off just a bit of the channel. Then we had last year we had our Simply for the Dads. Mm-hmm. You know, that's coming back again this year. We've got a few things kind of going on. We've got a radio show now. Tuesday 10 p.m. GMT on BCFM 93.2. But yeah, I guess I'll start. You happy with me starting with my kind of goals?
Go for it,
so
I'm still thinking of mine.
So it's those things. So I guess for my kids, my goal is for them to. So they've been doing their swimming lessons, and so my goal is for them to both get to a position where by the end of this year, which I'm sure will happen, they can just jump in the big pool at Easton and just do their thing. No worrying about having to cling on to me or cling on to Nicola or whoever. They're able to just do their thing, and I think for them it will be nice to see that kind of goal, because to be fair, they've had a moderate level of being able to float and do okay, but particularly with Jada, it's a thing where put an adult next to her and suddenly she is very aware that there's an adult that she can depend on. Right. Whereas when she's on her own, she kind of gets on with it and does it a bit better. So hopefully that's my goal for them personally. And also so Jess is desperate to be able to do the splits to get a tick on her gymnastics badge. So hopefully she gets to do that as well. We had our parents' evening. So parents' evening was really good, and they're doing amazingly, which is really good. And it's that thing where, you know, I think that the support me and Nicola give is one thing, but some of their intellect is down to themselves and their own motivation, their own drive. Because the teacher was saying that Jada's got like a greater depth of understanding for maths, which she hasn't seen in a child her age for ages. And I think that's because she aspired to catch up to Jess, and that's what drove her. That's not necessarily me and Nicola saying you have to be like Jess. We haven't done anything like that. You know, stay in your lane. But Jada's decided that she wants to aspire for it and is going like that. So that's that's the goals for the girls. For myself, I want to learn more, but I'm trying to think of what is the next thing to kind of learn. So, you know, all the setup is all stuff I've sort of taught myself, and at the moment, I'll be honest, I feel like the Dadcast recording's a bit basic, not in a bad way, it's just simple, it gets the job done, and I'm trying to think of what's the next thing that I can learn to kind of take us up again. Yeah, so that's kind of my goal, so I'm going to try and find something that I could learn to step up. I think another thing that I want to do is I want to train you guys on how to use the controls on radio. Because I think I just think it's one of the things where definitely it'd be good for you guys to skill up as well, just so that we've all kind of got that under our belts.
And it means you can take a night off if you ever need to. You know?
The thing is, I radio's addictive. Like, it's so weird. This whole, you know, going into this, me and Kinny obviously used to present our own podcasts. And the presenting thing, you get that presenter bug. And I don't know if you've started to catch it where you're coming to radio. Yeah. And it's like, I can't wait to do it again. So, you know, with my new job, I've had to stop doing the breakfast show in the mornings because there isn't enough time to do breakfast and then get to work. But I've missed doing it in the morning. So it's that kind of thing. I've got that bug and I want to do it more. So so hopefully kind of upskill at that. And for Dadcast, I want us to become, so at the moment so what would you call us? So we're like a YouTube channel?
We're a community initiative. That's what we are. We're a community initiative. So you want the legal state. We want to have a legal status.
Yes. I want to register as that like community interest company. And I've been thinking about it lots this morning in that I want to start looking at a 3-year plan from now, because we've got things coming up this year, and you know we've got our second event coming up with BCFM. Hopefully we get some awards at the Bristol Diversity Award this year, which would be good, because I feel like last year we were just online broadcaster, but we've been doing radio as well now. We've been doing things out in the community, so hopefully we'll be able to bring back some silverware, that bit of recognition. But I want us to start to build as a community interest company and start making a difference to more dads and even more kids. So I was thinking of today, you know, Dadcraft with the man them has come in 2019. and I would like that to build, and if possible, for us to eventually have some sort of like mentorship or do something with groups that are doing stuff for young people, and then sort of having that mentorship and working around that, because you know we've got friends who are working and doing some really great stuff, and I think it's about collaboration. And being in Bristol, there's like 4 degrees of separation. It's not even that much. Everybody knows everybody in Bristol, and I think that we can do something and start to affect more people. And the other thing that I want to do is, recently I was looking at our audiences, and I was really surprised to see that 55% of our audience is female. And at first I was really surprised, and when I thought about it, the use of social media, joining groups and that kind of thing, like I get it, but we need to find a way to reach out to have more guys involved a bit more heavily, because you know, it's not just about us having a YouTube channel, it blowing up and being really famous YouTube stars. It's not about that. For me, it's about us actually making a difference for people, and it's starting to build that team so that the brand gets out, so that more dads are talking and more dads supporting each other. The Black Fathers chat on Facebook, that group there, it's amazing seeing some of the conversations that go on. You've got dads from all different walks of life. Dads asking, would you let your child have a sleepover? Dads asking, what do you guys do about when you're when the mother of your child gets a new partner? All these kind of conversations, and these dads are supporting. There's people like, you know, please welcome my second son to the world, and it's just like so much love being shown on the page, so much support. And I think that, you know, it's very American heavy, but I would like to tap into that and see if there is something that, not necessarily just Black Fathers, but you know, there is a group. We are a group, we are a brotherhood, so it would be good to kind of grow on that. So those are mine.
Okay.
Sounds interesting.
So for me, you know, goals and aspirations for my children. Kida's just started gymnastics, and I would love to see her to be able to do a cartwheel by the end of this year. Definitely. I mean, could you imagine little Kida just like started doing loads of cartwheels? But as I've seen in gymnastics, they progress them really, really quick. So that's what I'm hoping for her. Also for her handwriting. I mean, you guys know that she had an operation on her hand. Her handwriting is amazing at the moment. You know, post operation and stuff. So I'm just hoping for her to continue to, you know, continue to be brave and have confidence in her right hand, and that's my main thing for her. For Zaire, Zaire is you know, doing so good at taekwondo at the moment, and again, I just want him to go to the next level, you know, with his grading. For both of the children, I want to do a lot of firsts with them this year. So first time take them on holiday, that's what I want to do. Like, so first time they're on a plane, I really want to be able to do that for them. And just let them experience new things.
With Kida's hand, have you seen that? Like, has she let it hinder her, or has she just kept going?
No, she just kept going, and that's the reason why we decided to do it, you know, now when she was 3, because it was it's just not a hindrance at all. She'll work around it, you know, but when I mean confidence, I want her to feel confident to do it, you know, use it more. So we've got exercise and stuff I have to do with her. So personal goals for myself, I'm you know, my mind is like a sponge. Like, I'm always about, you know, knowledge and learning new and different things. So similar to what you were saying, you know, I'd like to learn how to, you know, run the show on every Tuesday on the radio. That would be cool. Also, I want to make sure that I work in like even more harder that I've done this year for you know, my current role with Wrestle. We've had a really, really good year, and I want to continue that success. For Dadcast, I, again, just like you, echoing your thoughts, I want to make sure that we become, you know, have a legal status. So being a CIC and, you know, being a business developer, I can help with, you know, the kind of focus planning on what we're going to do in the next 3 years. I have all of the tools and, you know, little resources that we can do that. So I'm very much looking forward to us getting together, sitting down and mapping out our 3-year plan, and writing a business plan for, you know, for Dadcast. Award. I want an award, man. I want an award.
We are 2018 nominees for the. You know, we got shortlisted. I think it was 4 groups, wasn't it?
Yeah.
No, it was it 4 or 3? I think it was 3. It was us. Yeah. It was the Ross Barnett show, and it was Mandem Hood.
That's right.
The guys from Uni. So yeah, so we were shortlisted to 3, which is great. Like, you know, and yeah, hopefully. We've learned a lot, we've grown a lot by extra member as well now, so we're even more diverse. So hopefully we take that one.
Oh, is that why you got me involved?
So that's really what I, you know, and I want to be able to build more relationships with different organizations, more collaborations as well, because as you see, coming up this year, there's going to be a collaboration with Children's Scrap Store, Dad Craft with Demand Them, that's coming up. And also, we're starting to make a relationship with Flamingo Chicks, who are launching their charter on Thursday at the House of Commons, which I will be attending. So I want to make more partnerships, more collaborations, because it will only, be better for us and and our beneficiaries.
I'm gonna throw it in there again. Hashtag LinkedIn accountants.
Yeah.
The support there. We won't forget it.
Joe,
me, right? Where do I start? So aspirations for my children for the following year. I think that with Maisie. So she's eldest and she's in year 8 at school. So my aspirations with her really are, she's at the stage where there's quite a lot going on at school with friends and peer groups and stuff. She's doing well academically. She finds it a bit boring, but that's life, isn't it? Yeah, do you know what I mean? So my aspirations with her are more around her, just like helping her to manage her peer groups, her social circles. Like she's got to this point where if a boy and a girl are friends, they must be going out or they like each other. And she finds it frustrating because she reads manga, she watches anime, she reads comic books, she loves Star Wars, like all that kind of stuff. So a lot of things that are boy kind of things. Do you know what I mean? So a lot of her friends are boys, and then a lot of her female friends will be like, oh, Maisie likes so and so, and so teaching, really my aspiration is to help her to manage those relationships, because she's rang me up before like, Dad, this boy's asked me out and I was going to text this back, but I don't know what to say. And we kind of went through a text message thing, do you know what I mean? Of, okay, you can let him down nicely, but let him know that it's not, it's not like that, yeah. So yeah, really my aspirations for her is just to help her. And she's amazing at it. She is really good.
The thing is, that's going to be tricky, because I think Maisie's going to get that a lot, because she's one of those girls that's going to grow up and just be chill. Yeah. Everyone's like, oh, she's so cool. Like, oh yeah, she's a brethren. And then, there is that confusion of that feeling, because it is really tricky when your hormones are going. I remember being a teenager and, who do you fancy? And, you're going to have a lot of conversations. It's going to be an expert text.
Yeah. So yeah, really my aspirations is that for her, around her peer group and her learning how best to, and she is really good at it already, but just to help her with that, and to help her build on her confidence with that as well, because she likes to make sure everybody else is happy before herself. So we're working on her self-worth and how much it's important that she also, her feelings matter too, you know. So that's Maisie. Tasia, who's in year 7, I think she's had a little bit of a tricky time she's at CAB, City Academy, and she's had a little bit of a tricky time in year 7 settling in. She's very opinionated, and we've taught her that it doesn't matter who you are, you need to come with respect in order to be respected, which means when the head teacher told her she was a liar and she wasn't lying, she felt like, well, you're disrespecting me. Doesn't matter that you're the head teacher, because I'm going to tell you about yourself. Which didn't go down too well. It was quite funny, because I then had a professional meeting with him like the next day in a boardroom, and that's an odd balance. Anyway, for Tasia, my aspiration for her, she's doing amazing. She's at gymnastics and she's doing really well. She just, it took her 6 months to get the roll on the bar. Okay. So, like front roll on the bar. And she was super proud. She rang me up last weekend and she was like, yeah, I got this, like super excited and stuff. So definitely for her to continue with that, because it's something that it's one of the only things she does that she really focuses on. She's at that teenage moody stage where she sits on her phone and doesn't want to interact with anybody, and it's a struggle to come down for dinner, and so for her to have that focus is really good. So for her to continue with that, and just to help her through school, really, and kind of getting that, a good friendship group and stuff. Shavea Shavea's in year 6. Shavea has just started back at gymnastics, so she started and took a break, and now she's back. So, and she loves it. Like, she really, really loves it. And she's just naturally really good at that. So for her to continue with that, like carry on working on that, and netball is her thing. They're both looking for Tasia and Shavea are both looking for a netball club outside of school, because the primary school stopped doing it, the secondary school aren't doing it this term. So their netball is something that they both love. So that's definitely something for Shavea, I think. And my last one, Malachi. So he's in year 4, and
time's going so fast.
It flies. my aspirations for Malachi. So he does football and he loves it. He does football twice a week at 2 different training academies. So he loves football. My aspirations with Malachi are around his emotional needs, because he obviously all kids have been through kind of stuff. He was quite young when a lot of stuff was going on, so he hasn't, I don't think he's quite formed his ideas around certain things that he's had to go through and stuff.
Yeah.
And he's very emotional. Now I don't know, because the older 3 are girls. I don't know if this is a boy thing, because I know when I was younger I was quite shy and a bit emotional. And my girls are a little bit more resilient, and he will get quite upset over silly kind of things.
Zion's the same. He is emotional, but it's just about, kind of fine-tuning their emotions, helping them to understand their emotions and dealing with it in certain ways.
The thing for Mally as well, I guess, is that kind of thing of being the youngest as well. That's another dynamic to it too.
Yes, and his sisters tell him all the time, don't stop crying, don't be emotional, what's wrong with you? Like constantly, we'll bully him until he's crying and then tell him he's do you know what I mean? So
siblings.
So my aspirations for Malachi is just support him to understand his emotions, because he struggles to communicate. He gets really angry or really crying a lot, but to help him talk through, understand that it's important that he talks through, and we're getting there, but that's my aspiration for him really, because that's key for him, I think, as he grows up. So that's my kids done. Sorry, it took a while. My aspirations for myself, I think this year, my aspirations for myself are mainly kind of financial, but not for financial sake, like it's about stability. So I think my aspirations this year is to keep on budget. So I've got a budget and stuff, and that's really helping with me with my money, because everybody knows I'm not great with it, but it's a work in progress. I got my Monzo card, which is really good. It's like a little budget card that you top up every week, so you don't go over your budget and stuff. So I'm but it's not for the sake of saving loads of money or this or that. It's just about being stable and having that stability for the kids, and having somewhere big enough for them all to come around and stay and that kind of thing. So my aspirations for myself really is that. Although I'm also doing a level 3 youth work course. Okay. So obviously hoping to finish that. Well, I will finish that. I'm going to get it done. So that's quite cool, because it means I'll actually be qualified after 17 years of doing youth work. And then really, similar to Kinny, I really want to be able to do the radio show, the controls and everything. I think it'd be really good. So that's definitely something I want to do. And then for Dadcast,
I guess it's difficult for you, because you haven't been here that
long. But it's true. And so I've been following you guys, obviously. Well, I think I was on the first show. So I was on the first show. So I've been following you guys from the beginning, but from the outside perspective. So now being on the inside perspective and seeing the plans that some of you lot don't know about yet, but the things we talk about, and it's exciting and stuff. And also, you mentioned diversity earlier. I think that me being a father who doesn't have my kids living at home with me is a different angle, and I'm really hoping to be able to bring that angle to the show in regards to being relatable to a lot of the men out there who are struggling or finding things difficult about being the dad that isn't the full-time carer, no matter what they're trying or what they want or whatever. So I want to maybe have a little spin on that kind of side of things, and I'd really like to do something for that support dads that are struggling with that, or also fathers who are in prison. So maintaining a bond with their children. And the other thing I'd really like to do, which I know I've spoken to you guys about a bit, is to do something. Obviously, unfortunately, it's not that every dad is around, and there are kids out there whose dads aren't around for whatever reason. And I'd really like to think about doing something for those kids. Do you know what I mean? So that's kind of my aspirations for Dadcast, is to bring that kind of spin on it, where you don't have your kids every day, and you are trying to coming from that angle. Do you know what I mean? So that's my aspirations for that.
So we're going to go to a quick break. When we come back, we've got a few things. We're going to have a giveaway coming up very soon, so information on that, and then we're going to kind of briefly discuss how we're going to manage fatherhood with these aspirations. So we'll be back in just a minute. Okay guys, the store has been updated. So if you want to get any merch, just go to teespring.com/store/Dadcast WTMD. Got quite a bit on there. We've got the classic logo, got black and white logo, definition of Mandem. We've got the Whizmacool Dadcast logo. We'll not say who it is inspired by. Then we've got our WTMD hype. You can get your phone cases, the definition of Dadcast, and so much more. Yeah, teespring.com/store/Dadcast WTMD. That is your public service announcement, how to get your merch. Back to the studio. So as you would have seen, the Teespring store has been updated. The link is in the description down below. Yeah, so shall we do giveaway first, or shall we?
Let's do giveaway first.
Okay, so the two things that we've got going on. Once we get to 500 likes on our Facebook page, we are going to be giving away a family package, like day out. That's going to be coming. Also coming up, we're going to do a build up to Mother's Day, but just for Mother's Day, we are going to give away 2 adults and 2 children's tickets to Bristol Zoo. So sorry if you're not from Bristol, but that's going to be on the radio show. So make sure you're tuning in every Tuesday, 10 p.m. GMT, and and we'll have details on there of how to kind of get that.
Oh, and then just quickly, if you can't listen at that time, you can catch up if you go to the BCFM.
BCFMradio.com/Dadcast. So yeah, those are the giveaways. So boys, we've spoken about how we want to try and learn these things. Obviously, W said about you doing like finishing your course and stuff.
Yeah.
How are you guys doing, or have you given any thought about how you're going to be able to do these things without impacting on things at home?
My life is so hectic at the moment. That is ridiculous, and I just at the moment it's not sustainable the way I'm doing things, but it's the only way to get it done right now. Do you know?
I guess with a course, it's short term, isn't it?
Yeah. So this was 27 weeks that started in November, so I haven't done the maths on it, but I think it's like March, including holidays or something.
Okay.
So, but it's really, I mean, it's hard enough. I have my kids nearly every night, and it's hard enough juggling work and that with their mum's responsibilities and my other responsibilities, and finding time for myself is difficult. So, yes, I thought about it. At the minute, I'm just kind of full steam ahead and just kind of ignoring the signs of, burning the candle at both ends and that kind of stuff.
But I guess at the same time, what's nice is that if you can see, there's a finish line with it. So at least it's not too bad.
Yeah, there's a finish line with it, and and there are certain things I'm putting in place. Like even my budgeting is about making those things easier. Or when I have got the kids, being able to do what I want to do with them, so I've got some money back that we can. Because when you've got 4 kids, everything is expensive.
Yeah.
No matter what you do, is teeth, and then they want to eat, and that's again expensive again. So
Plus you want to eat.
Plus, exactly, yeah. So you get really good at the big pot dishes that feed everybody for like 3 days, like. But yeah, I think it's. I do think I'm saying this like it's like I'm on this thing. You're right. There's a set goal in mind, and that means it's achievable. But also, it isn't healthy to just ignore the signs, and I'm not. I speak to my friends, and I have time to unwind and let off and stuff. But it's a challenge. But it's one of those things that at the minute just has to be done.
For myself, it's, as you know, and probably a lot of people out there know, I like a lot of stuff. I like to do a lot of stuff, and when I'm involved in it, I love, like, I'm all the way in. So, my wife, Sherelle, she's always like keeping an eye on me because, like W said, like burning the candle at both ends. If it's not taking the kids to taekwondo or taking them to gymnastics, if it's not work, and if it's not my own personal interests or even Dadcast, there's a lot of stuff. And where do you find that time for yourself? So, I make sure every now and again I do, have a bath or something, but sometimes it's important to make sure you say no. I'm the guy sometimes that I like to help everyone. I like to try and, do everything. And it's important to say no. It has to be done, otherwise it's just not going to work. So I'm trying to manage my, my kind of personal stuff and work stuff as much as I can. And it's just making sure that when I finish work and I get home, that time from when I get home to when the kids go to bed, that's them. Like that is them. That's it. One thing I do have to learn on is my quickness to kind of respond on the phone, like, what I mean, or interact on the phone. I need to just, as soon as I finish work, get back and just put it down. Put it on Do Not Disturb and just put it down.
Yeah, because there's nothing, if it's anything super major, someone will find a way to get in contact with you, do you know what I mean?
The problem is there's so much going on. Like, we could have a whole show talking about use on phones, but your phone now does so many more things than just make calls. Whereas back in the day, it would just be that phone call, really.
And also, after the other thing is, like, being a parent isn't always easy, and sometimes you've had a really hard day at work, and you want to just sit on your phone and play a game, and you know, and it, like you said, it's about prioritising that time. I think what you said is important about saying no as well, but I tend to say no. The first things to go is what I need to do. So, like, as in my needs, like, so my own time or my interests, or so I won't say no to other people or my family that have got stuff going on or the kids or whatever, but I will say, well, that means I can't do that, which is for me. So it's important to say no, but it's important to say no to other people, not just to your own interests and stuff. The thing
for me with managing it is that, like, Dadcast, I know that as it grows, I'm going to be putting more time into it. But what's nice is doing this. Like, this is my escape. I enjoy doing this. So, doing the radio on Tuesday, even when I'm just like exhausted, but it's like, do you know what? Once we get in the studio, like it's
on.
And the hour just kind of goes really quick as well, and that kind of thing. So it's that thing where for me is I don't have to worry too much about management. Sometimes it's a bit tricky where on a Tuesday, depending on what's going on, finish work, and then depending on what goes on in that few hours, make sure I've got stuff ready so that we can do the radio on a Tuesday. But yeah, to be fair, Nicola's behind it 100%, and where she's such a busybody anyway, not in a negative way, but where she does so many things. So like today she's going, at the time of recording, there's a baby shower going on this afternoon. And she wasn't going to go to her mum like she normally does. So, okay, that's fine, like go chill, we'll record. And she's gone to town instead to take them shopping. It's stuff like that. She, she makes it easier. It's not that it couldn't happen without her, but she makes it a hell of a lot easier. Which is really good. And I guess that's kind of how I'm going to manage it. Not a lot's going to change because, again, a bit like Kinny, when I'm doing something, I just keep doing it and I keep going. And and we're not all yes men, but we're definitely not no men. But so that's kind of it. So I guess to wrap up, Kinny, where can people find us?
Okay, so you can find us on Facebook. Make sure you check out our page. That's Facebook/Dadcast with the Man Them. Also, make sure you can find us on YouTube. Obviously, all of our shows are on YouTube. You can go back and look at some of our earlier shows. So make sure you do that. That's youtube.com/Dadcast with the Man Them. Also, you can check out our shows on Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, all of the podcast networks that you can find. You can also find us on Instagram at Dadcast WTMD. We're always filming, funny stuff. We're always posting funny stuff as well. And you can also check us out every Tuesday on BCFM. That's 10 p.m. GMT. So make sure you check us out there as well.
Also, just obviously we were talking about aspirations earlier, so if you want to comment, tell us what your aspirations are for your kids this year, what your aspirations are for yourself, and maybe with work, it'd be good to get a bit of a discussion going. And if there's anything you're struggling with about it, either inbox us or put it on the comments, and we'll get back to you. And
I think it's also important, just before we close up, to make sure that we say thank you to the people that have supported us over last year. So we have BCFM, we have Up Our Street, and I mentioned them already, but Linden Accountants. They've been really helpful, and then we're going to have stuff coming up with children's Scrap Store, Phoenix Road Adventure Playground, Bristol Zoo obviously managed to help us out a bit with the prices on them tickets when we've done the day out. Was it Euro Taxis? They've done the coach. So there's so many people that over the last year, and that was just us starting on doing our projects outdoors. So
2019 is going to be a big year for Dadcast with the Man Them, so please
keep it locked.
Stay tuned.
And so there's nothing else to say, but fatherhood
doesn't come with a manual.
That was a bit of a synchronized.